We continue the conversation this morning with Senator Harris. She's with us from Miami in her only network TV interview after the debate. Senator, good morning.
Good morning.
Let me start. You said last night that you do not believe Joe Biden is a racist. But do you think that his remarks about segregation as senators and his past policy on busing effectively disqualify him as a candidate?
No, I think that's a decision for the voters to make. But he and I have a disagreement, obviously, on the issue. But no, I think the voters will decide whether he is qualified to run or serve.
Senator Harris, your campaign clearly had an idea that this topic might come up. They had a picture ready. They sent out a tweet. From your perspective, I'm curious to know, what do you hope voters who may have been hearing about you for the first time and hearing from you for the first time, what should voters take away from that exchange with Joe Biden?
You know, I mean, my purpose in raising my experience was to really just make sure that in this conversation we are appreciating the impact on real people of policies that have been pushed in the history of our country, you know, way back when, and the effect even today. The point that I was making is, had those senators, those segregationists, had their way, I would not be a member of the United States Senate today. I would certainly not be a top contender to be president of the United States. So the impact of their work was very real, and it is something that when we are discussing an issue of race has to be appreciated, which is this is not just an intellectual or academic discussion. The history of race in our country had a real impact on real people.
Senator Harris, we just heard Ed O'Keefe say you're being accused of delivering a low blow last night. What do you say to that?
You know, Gayle, it was about just speaking truth. And as I've said many times, I have a great deal of respect for Joe Biden. He has served our country over many years in a very noble way. But he and I disagree on that. And it is a debate. This is a campaign where we should be discussing issues, and there will be contrasts. And on this issue, I suppose, and I guess it's evident that there is a contrast of opinion on the significance of people who have served in the United States Senate and what they have done in terms of their policies.
Your performance last night is certainly what people are talking about this morning. I'm hearing words like "a star is born." She is fervent, but deploys her anger precisely like a flashlight. Voters in Iowa and New Hampshire are telling CBS News today that you had a strong performance. How do you intend to capitalize on that momentum? Clearly, the T-shirts is one way. I understand that those are already on sale.
Oh, I don't know about the T-shirts. I know we've got a little visit KamalaHarris.org. I know we have a shop, but I'll say this, Gayle. Listen, from the beginning when we entered the campaign, for me, it's about working hard to earn the vote and the support of Americans, and so I will continue to spend time in Iowa and New Hampshire and South Carolina and Nevada as the primary states, but frankly throughout the country. And I will hopefully listen as much, if not more, than I talk, especially now, because I will tell you, I do intend to win this election. But for me, the mark of our success will also be that I listen, because really I think the most important thing is that at the end of this, that we are relevant. And so my plan is to keep getting out there and speaking to folks and listening to them and talking about my 3 a.m. agenda, which is what I hope to do that is relevant to the concerns that people have when they wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to figure out how to make it all work.
Senator, Vice President Biden didn't see a change in his polling numbers after his remarks about segregation as senators. Why, even among black voters, for that matter? Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, I'll leave that to the pundits. But again, I think that this is an issue that is something that should be discussed in the context of everything that we should remember about the history of our country. But we should also be having discussions about this election in the context of what we need to do to go forward. My campaign, and certainly my perspective, is not only about speaking truth about the past, but also focusing on the future. And again, that's why I talk about issues like health care, what we need to do to pay teachers their value, what we need to do to pay women equal for the same work as men, what we need to do around gun violence and having smart gun safety laws. These are the issues that I am focused on, because these are the issues that wake people up at 3 in the morning and need to be addressed, and we need leadership on these issues.
Senator, another defining moment in the debate was when every candidate was asked to raise their hand if they would abolish private insurance. In that moment, you raised your hand, but afterwards your campaign says actually that's not your position. So what is your position on private insurance?
So the question was, would you be willing to give up your private insurance?
That's not how it was
for
asked.
such a plan. And
That's what you heard, right?
okay. Yeah, that's certainly what I heard. And in terms of, I am supportive of Medicare for all, and under a Medicare for all policy, private insurance would certainly exist, and for supplemental coverage. But under Medicare for all, and my vision of it, we would actually extend benefits. So, for example, vision care, dental care, hearing aids, which currently are not covered, and anyone you know who's a senior can tell you they're extremely expensive, and people have to come out of pocket to pay for them. Included in my perspective on the issue of private insurance is this, and I told the story last night. Look, any night in America, there is some parent who's got a child who has a fever that's out of control and going to the emergency room to get help at the middle of the night, and then looking at those sliding glass doors as they're in their car in the parking lot, concerned that if they walk through those sliding glass doors, they're going to be out of pocket $5,000 because of the deductible. They've got insurance,
All right,
but they will be
Senator
out of
Harris.
pocket $5,000.
We're going to have to leave it there.
So, you know, 91%, and I'll just add 91% of the doctors in America today are in Medicare. So you won't lose your doctor.
All right, Senator Harris, you've had the last word. We thank you very much. I'm sure we'll talk to you a little bit
I appreciate it.
later on as this campaign continues.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Have a good day. Thank you.
You too.